I'm a believer that this team's going to win the national championship.
Something stupid is coming out of his mouth.
I don't know. Maybe it's just my age. He needs his vote pulled immediately. And of course, yes, a season like this has to have a name.
Let's talk about something good about Justin Freck. What are you doing?
Season of dreams. Ohio State, my guys, are either the best or the second best program in the history of college football.
This guy is a bonehead. They love him.
I question your judgment as an adult. I really do.
I was a total hater. I know that for a fact, and I just don't get it.
Get us back our sleeves.
And say, bring me that. That's the one I want. There are social media communities that surround fan bases, and I've been active in the Ohio State social media communities for a long time. And I know I talk about this on the show a lot, and I know some of you who aren't involved probably get annoyed, but a lot of the narratives that we hear about the team are started in these social media communities, and you make a lot of friends over the years. You make some enemies too, but we have different ideas we all have the same goal, but we have different ideas of what the best ways for the team or the organization, whoever our social media community is, should go about reaching those goals. At any rate, you make friends, you see the same people year in and year out, you make rivals, whatever. But one of the folks that I've interacted with for years is a guy by the name of Jay Peth, and his Buckeye account is Brutus Stark. And a really nice guy, a logical Buckeye fan, a positive Buckeye fan. I've always really enjoyed him. But his name's Jay Peth, and Tuesday night, he shared some news with the Buckeye community. Devastating news, a parent's worst nightmare. Jay Peth and his wife, Chloe, have a son named Clark, and this is Clark right here. Clark is Jay Peth and Chloe's only child. And they got news this week that he has been diagnosed with Sanfilippo syndrome. Sanfilippo syndrome, something I was not familiar with. It's a very rare genetic disorder. It is a terminal disorder, and it causes children to lose all the skills that they've gained throughout their lives, similar to Alzheimer's or dementia. They suffer seizures. They experience a great deal of physical pain. And if they make it to 20, they've lived a long life. There's no cure. All that can be done right now is to manage the symptoms. But there are several promising therapies that are being developed right now. As a dad, and I know many of you are parents, obviously there's no worse news than hearing something like this. I never know what to say when somebody has news like this. All you can do is offer some support and help any way you can. But when Jay Peth posted this, college football fans came out of the woodwork to show support and love. And one in particular was a Tennessee fan. And this Tennessee fan has a foundation called Beyond the Snap. Beyond the Snap is Bo Camaro's foundation. He's a Tennessee football fan. And what he does is travels with the Tennessee team whenever they have an away game. And his charity finds kids mostly with cancer or the cancer hospital, and they load them up with their team's gear. In this case, that would be Buckeye gear, which I think is such a cool idea. You have some fun with the opposing fan base, spread the love of college football, and make those kids feel like part of the game that week, just totally out of the blue. Awesome idea. I love it. Beyond the Snap. So our man Bo Camaro sees this post from Jay Peth, and he reaches out and he said, I would love to give the little man a Buckeyes Christmas from Vol Nation.
Is tonight, 2 hours ago, I found out about a young Buckeyes fan who has an illness that's pretty severe. And I reached out to them and said, hey, can I make Christmas great for the little guy? Because that's what Beyond the Snap does. That's what we do. So I was going to make it rain Buckeyes, and I hate Ohio State football, but it is what it is. This is about the sportsmanship and showing that it's more than football. It's more than a game. It's Beyond the Snap. That's the whole purpose of this charity, is to show sportsmanship and show that we can hate each other on the field, but off the field, other things matter. So
many people see his message, and fans from around the country, from Michigan, Indiana, Buckeye fans, of course, Tennessee, pop in, offer him money, donations to make this even better. let's get into the game. Well, Chloe and Japheth and Clark live out of state, so that's going to require a flight, hotel, no problem.
So overnight we had a phenomenal turnout and giving for the Young Buckeyes fan. We raised about $7,300 altogether last night. So that's way more than I expected to come in, honestly. So I've been in contact with his dad this morning. I've already sent them money to get them to Columbus for the game. But what we're going to do, because of the weather situation and little man's, so young and so small, we're going to kind of play whether or not they're coming to the game. We're going to play that by ear and see what the weather does. They're going to be in Columbus. They're actually going to help us do some shopping. I'll talk about it in just a second. And then they're going to watch the game remotely, if the weather doesn't allow. So anyways, we're going to make it a great weekend for them. They're going to come in on like Friday and stay the weekend, leave out on Sunday, enjoy all the festivities and such.
Thanks to Beyond the Snap and all the generous college football fans around the country. They are being flown into Columbus for the weekend to experience the game day atmosphere. And they're going on a shopping spree to get Clark all the Buckeye gear he wants. They're going to stay in a sweet hotel. And Japheth, Chloe, and Clark can watch the game together from the hotel. Or who knows? Maybe the weather gets a little warmer that night. We'll see what happens. Maybe they can make it to the game. But regardless, an awesome story, man. And thanks to all those Tennessee fans. You guys are class acts. I love it. From one college football fan to another, I think that's an awesome thing. You guys are a great fan base. I've never heard of Sanfilippo syndrome. I'm going to assume most people haven't. And obviously, as I said, there's no cure, but some promising treatments. The problem is when a disease is very rare, like I said, there's just 1 in 20,000 cases of this. Coming by funds for that research is very difficult. And the family has thrown their support behind the Cure Sanfilippo Foundation. We've made a donation here at the show to that foundation. I hope some of the Juckeyes out there can spare a few dollars in the holiday season and make a donation in Clark's name. I'm going to put the link to that foundation in the description of this video. And if you can do that, that would be awesome. And special thanks to Bo Camaro for bringing them into town, giving them an awesome weekend. And a big thanks to all those Tennessee fans. And all our love from the Juckeyes to Japheth, Chloe, and Clark. Thanks, guys.